Hey guys, so this is a little bit of a different video. Instead of me talking you through a software process, I'm going to show you a cool new hardware that allows you to live stream events for your community. So this could be team meetings, or it could be sequelas, or any kind of events outside of the weekend where you allow people to come in and participate. Now, I have researched a lot of different live stream cameras, and you can spend a lot of money achieving a live streamed event. But if you're like our community, you don't have a huge budget. So in this video, I'm gonna give you my review of the MEVO camera and show you the setup process, how it sounds, how it looks, and you can decide for yourself if this is a solution that you would like to offer in your home community. So let's get started. So this is actually the box that the MEVO comes in, and as you can see from the branding, it is the MEVO box. And you'll actually be surprised to find out how small actually this camera is. So as you can see, it is a very tiny, small camera. I would say no more than 2 or 3 inches. And it comes in this really handy dandy case. And then the battery actually is in a different part. So if you unbox it, the battery, or the bottom that needs to be charged, is in this red box. Right. And this is what actually attaches to a stand to be able to record. So all you do is it's magnet, and you just line it up with the adapter that's on the bottom. And then it starts out at white, and then you lock it into position, and that starts up the battery. It connects it to the camera itself. And this camera shoots in 1080 all the way down to 360 frames. And if you don't know what that means, all you have to know is that it's high definition, which means better quality. So the higher the number, the better the quality. 360 is low quality, 1080 is full HD. Right? And then it also comes with different cords and different packs that lets you plug and play. But for me, it only comes with a little short cord. So I had to buy an extra long cord to plug in, so I could plug it into an AC adapter, and I could let the battery run and run and run, because just a battery without it being plugged in the wall only lasts about an hour. So let's talk adapting. So I needed to be able to see my camera and have my camera see over the crowd of people. So I actually used a hardware that I already had, and that was a light stand. So now I have put this camera on a light stand, and what's really important when you're thinking about placing the camera in the room is that you are showcasing who is speaking. So that could be the speaker at the podium, that could be the band playing, and also you want to think about an outlet, because like I said, you want to have the camera plugged in on the back to an adapter that plugs into the wall, so an AC adapter. If the camera is too far away from the wall, then you can't plug in, and then you run into a problem where the camera could die in between sequelas. Or at least an extension cord where you can have it plugged in so it doesn't die during your event. Now that we have it all set up, let's take a look at one of the events that I shot, and you could hear for yourself the audio quality and just the video quality and a couple other cool things that MEVO comes standard with when you purchase the camera. So here is a video clip sample that I have of one of our speakers just giving a meditation. And I didn't want to be too aggressive and put the camera in a place where it was drawing a lot of attention. So I just put it in front of me on the table during his meditation, and really it was just kind of distracting, and it was far enough away that it was creating this hissing sound, and so I don't feel like our viewers really got a good taste of what the impact of the speaker was. This gentleman also tends to speak louder, and so he doesn't typically use a mic, and that would be fine for the people in the room, but since we have people that are listening through a camera that's placed far away, it didn't quite work. So if you have someone that's not going to be using the mic too, then that's an extra layer of not having great sound quality. So if you'll just take a listen, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
And I say to you this morning, if you could just cradle that and put your hope in Jesus, I'm not telling you not to love your spouse, love your children, but you put your hope in them.
So you're hearing that clicking sound, and it's very distracting. Yeah, sure, if I wanted to play back this audio later and clean it up, I could do that in a software where it could clean up that clicking sound. But since it's a live stream, I don't have that flexibility. I'm just hearing people clicking their cups and talking and that murmur sound and any kind of reaction from the audience, you're picking that up too. So should have placed the camera a little bit better. And then if we scroll in later, I took a look at the footage and I thought this looks terrible. So I'm going to place this camera a whole lot better. So I ended up moving the camera and I placed it in an area that you could see this is just much better. So we can see the speaker now, and we can see a couple of the ladies that were at this event. And that ended up working so much better. Now the audio quality was a little bit better, and I'll show you that sample here in a little bit because she is using the microphone, but just overall audio is not super great. So that's why I say place your camera as close to the speaker as possible. What is also nice about MEVO is it does this, you can turn it on or off, it depends on what you would like, where it auto detects who the speaker is and will zoom in closer or do audience shots. So be careful who's sitting in your front rows, because if they're nodding and then they're smiling or they're talking, the camera is going to detect that and they'll do cut audience shots, which works great if you're holding a conference and you want to get shots of your audience. So if you're at a Sequela and you're having people talk and you want to showcase how many people came to your Sequela meeting, that is great. But for this purpose, we ended up turning that feature off later because it really didn't matter the audience in the front row. What mattered more was the speaker and its content. So just something to think about. So I'll show you this audio now too, so you can get an understanding for the audio quality straight out of camera.
Go to Christy Arena, and I'm just thanks winner for something. Anyway, so that's your kind of your structure. So what we're discovering right now is a lot of people just going straight to.
So as you can see, still some of that clicking, some of that buzzing, but we are hearing her a little bit better. The bass on the mic, it's just how it's built. It's not great. But then you could also see how the camera zoomed in. She's talking, it detects that, and so it zoomed in closer on her, so close you could even see the laptop. But that did add some extra grain, some extra noise on the camera feed. But it is a cool feature to have, especially if you don't have a lot of video editing experience. Another workaround that MEVO does offer, and I'm not going to cover it in this video, is you can plug the camera actually into your mixer board. So our mixer board is way in the back of the room in this section right here, and here's our tech gal. Now we could have moved the camera and it could have plugged in back here, and we could have used that to get better quality straight from mic, and that sounds really, really, really good, but I just do not have the bandwidth to arrive early and settle that up. So it really was just a shotgun, run and go, set it up, plug it in, good to go, not using that board. So that is an option if you would like better quality of audio. But for us and just this small event, I just use the camera audio. Okay, so here is actually my YouTube live dashboard, and when I used this live stream, all I had to do was hand out this link. People couldn't just search Sequela or Kansas City Trace Diaz. Maybe like just a women's event and you just want to send it out to women in your community, or just a men's event and you want to still maintain that level of confidentiality, you could totally do that too, which is really nice. The only thing that is kind of a bummer with YouTube is if you have a private link, you can't post comments. But hey, that's okay. If people want to engage in the live stream, they can always text, and that's what we ended up doing because I could not consistently run a meeting and be checking the comments. So if anybody had a question, they just texted other ladies in the room, and those ladies would bring it to my attention. I know I didn't mention it yet, but a really cool feature about YouTube is that you can schedule this. So what we did was we sent out the link because the link never changed, and then we would just schedule the meetings and then when it was going to start. So if the meeting was starting at 9 o'clock, the live stream didn't turn on until 9 o'clock. Even if the camera was set up and ready to go, it would not turn on the live stream until 9 o'clock, which is really nice. And that means we could communicate this link through email, and everyone could get it all bookmarked and queued up, and then they just showed up at 9 o'clock. And then once the live stream was over, it closed down and it disappeared. So people couldn't go back in and watch it. It was a one and done. If you missed it, too bad, is pretty much how that worked out. But also YouTube does this for free. So if you're like us and you have a really tight budget and you've just spent the money on this camera, the last thing you want to do is pay a whole bunch of money for a live streaming service. YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, Periscope, these are all solutions that will do this live streaming for free. So there you go. That is just a really high level analysis of how to set up a MEVO, unboxing, and how to start live streaming your events. As you can see, besides the camera, every other solution is a really good low cost, sometimes free solution. So if you're a community that has a lot of people that are coming from all different parts of the US, or maybe you're wanting to go deeper and do something a little bit beyond just a conference call, or even live streaming events with live Q&As, this is a great solution for you. So I'm going to post all of the links for the camera, for the light stand, for YouTube, everything that I mentioned in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you have any questions, per usual, just put them in the comments below and let us know what is the next video that you guys would like to see. All right, that's all. Talk to you later.